Very good evening to one and all. DC Group of Institutions is a pioneer in the management and architecture education sector in Kerala and is promoted by DC Trivandrum Foundation and co-promoted by DC Books. Today, DCSMAT in association with Trivandrum Management Association is commencing a program Coffee with Corporate Leaders. To give a welcome to everyone assembled here, may I take the pleasure of requesting Akhil Leela, President of the PMA Student Chapter, DCSMAT, to welcome the gathering officially.
Good evening to all. Good evening to all. Greetings to one and all present here. I feel extremely privileged and honored to be given this opportunity to welcome you all this wonderful event Coffee with Corporate Leaders. Success is not by accident. It is a hard work, learning, study, sacrifice, but most of all, commitment in what you are doing. Gratefully, I welcome Mr.Rajesh Jha, President, Adani Vizhinjam. Sir, it is a remarkable moment to have your prestigious presence in today's wonderful event. So next, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. On behalf of the Institute with wholeheartedly, I welcome Wing Commander Rajesh D. Nair, Chairperson, Now I welcome, it's my pleasure to welcome Sunil Kumar, Secretary, DMA and Associate General Manager, Adani Vizhinjam. Director is the captain of the ship who sets the expedition to the delighted shores of wisdom and vision. With enthusiasm and ecstasy, I heartily welcome Dr. Jaishankar Prasad to this official. So, a journey well shared is a journey well folded. Lastly, I appreciate my sincere gratitude to all the faculty members and my dear fellows. Thank you all for being such a great audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilina. Now I invite our director, Jaishankar sir, to deliver a special address.
Yeah, I think we are nothing short of done. There's no too much of a special address, but I'm very happy that the Trivandrum Student Chapter is always being provided with a great result. So this year in 2022, we really want to take up a lot more activities along with CMA. I think one of the part, just for the information of the rest of you, our team had participated in the CMA Swiss competition a few days back. We want some of our team members really participating in the competition which are holding. And as management students, I'm looking at from an institution point of view, we really want all of the students to actively participate and get involved, network with all the senior members in the Trivandrum Management Association, which is going to be your fraternity as we get along into the profession. Not taking much words. Let me also, I'm very keen to listen to Anisha and I also would like to hear what are the PLA student activities from Canada and let's hear from both of them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Today we have the chairperson of TMA Student Chapters, who is also co-chair and group CEO, Medicaid Edos Private Limited, Wing Commander Rajesh Jha. She is professionally with experience in the defense service, corporate, chamber and ministry. fellowship in applied nutrition, postgraduate in human resource management, brand management, as well as in the language and linguistics. I take it as a privilege to welcome Rajashree Ma'am to address students.
Good evening all. It's wonderful to see all of you not couple of years, 20, 25 years back I was on the other side. So it is nice to see, and I somehow reflect upon each one of you when I have seen people, and the one person who inspired me that time was Dr. Kiran Bedi. Though I couldn't get through to IPS, that is why I joined Indian Air Force. So I'm sure whether you do management or anything, any other subject, there are many avenues available for you. Coming back to my role today, Mr.Rajesh Jha, TMA President, MD and CEO Adani Vizhinjam, Dr. Jayashankar Prasad, Director DC School Management and Technology, Mr. Amal Anila, Professor DC School of Management and Technology, Mr. Akhil Neela, TMA Student Coordinator, DC School of Management and Technology, Mr. Sunil Kumar, Secretary Management Association, faculty, staff and students. It's a pleasure to be here on this occasion. I'm honored to be part of this coffee with corporate leader, though my association with TCS has been all year on Corsa as well as during quiz competition. I just want to know how many of you were there during quiz, who are they present today? Quiz competition, and is it? And anybody who's participating in the paper presentation? Yes, okay, please do. So we'll interact more during that time. As you know, Trivandrum Management Association is one of the premier associations of the country. It is affiliated to All India Management Association, which was established in 1985 by quite a lot of enterprising management leaders. TMA is actively engaged in promotion of management education and entrepreneurial training. So anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur can also join us as a member. Using its vast resources of expertise who are the management leaders across the globe. Through the various activities, the association has contributed significantly to the promotion of management development in the country, particularly to the state of Kerala. Trivandrum Management Association conducts regular events for its members who are professional, comprising of active, currently, aspiring managers, the managers who are currently those who are working as managers in various portfolios in various departments, government as well as otherwise the private sector, and student members. These events are evening lectures, talks, webinars, student chapter programs, MDT management development programs, conducted on a monthly basis. Through these programs, the management fraternity of the city is enlightened by the experience as well as management lessons of industry leaders and subject experts. Now, when I talk about student chapter activities include a talk, which is a monthly talk that we invite industry experts, and they come and conduct a talk series where students, whatever doubts they have, they do ask, and in case if there is any further networking that is required, that is those details are shared. After the last 2 years due to COVID, it was on Zoom. Now we are slowly starting to do it on a real-time basis instead of virtual. So, Enlight series, management quiz, paper presentation, industrial visitors there, coffee with corporate leader, which is the activity that that your institution is hosting here, and national management celebration. These are the various activities that move the student chapter. Then, currently the student chapter includes, the members are College of Engineering, then Institute of Management, Calcutta, Rajdhani Business School, then Kerala Institute of Corporate Management, then Root Mata, of course, now you are part of this, and then St. Xavier's, which is a college based in Navajo. These are our active members, and including you as active member, because we had 2 events including you. So you will be more active once you participate in Chunao as well. Now, student chapter program, if I'm just, based on what Dr. Jayashankar has mentioned, I'll just give you the kind of speakers that we had for our student chapter event. Campus to Corporate by Alok Kumar Tripathi. He is AGM and senior faculty, and he was very well received actually. Then we had, that was in the month of November 2020. Then we had personal branding, it was customer value, creating value for yourself by Mr. Gautam Mahajan. That was in the month of December 2020. Then we had personal branding and communication by Mr. Naren Kaiman, communication consultant on 9th January 2021. When I am saying communication consultant, understand that these are people who have quite a lot of industry experience. He was, if you are familiar with Pure for Sure kind of a logo, Naren Kaiman had got a couple of awards for his creative content writing and director. Then Creating Career Best by Mr. Shrikant Arimani Kaya. He is the Global Talent and Enablement Services Leader, EY. Then we had National Management Day in 2021 where we conducted Mandarin Challenge Contest where students from St. Xavier's, CET and one more college. I think it was Blue Mata if I'm not missing out. The topic was COVID management and safe health practices and clean energy. IMK, the other college was Institute of Management, Trivandrum. They got the first prize, and St. Xavier's came second. Then we held on 27th March, Personal Transformation for Professional Growth by Dr. Kalpana Gopalan IAS. That was in the month of March. Then Career Planning by Mr. Lettis Matthew, who is the Director of SPHRI, Urban HR Services. Then Career Decision and Mindfulness by Ms. Sharika. Then Navigating Career During a Pandemic by Mr. Shravan Charya, who is the CEO and founder of Social. All these are through Zoom that we conducted. Then was Holistic Approach to Life and Career by Dr. Kate Jain, co-author, the Prosperity Factor and founder, JK European Luxury Products through Zoom. Then we had Communication for Success and Happiness by Professor S. Srikumar, who is the former Associate Professor at G College. Then Influencer Marketing by Mr. Raja Dasgupta, Chief Information Officer and co-founder of Gen Z 360. Then How to Create Your Own Social Venture with or without Experience by Ms. Meghna Agnihotri, founders Spixel through Zoom on 22nd December 2021. In the meantime, we had one event with you. If you remember, Forza was conducted in November. Then Management Day celebration, we recently had a Management Day celebration where students from this college also participated. Because students have attended from here, so I know what who won first and second. So overall, you know that we are very active as far as the student chapter is concerned. So each one of you, I invite to be part of TME and be an active member and participate as such. And please give us valuable feedback so that we can improve the student chapter better from where it stands today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next I welcome the MD and of Adani Vizhinjam Pvt Ltd. Before moving to Adani Group, he worked with the steel, Tata Steel, Jindal Steel and Power, Visa Steel, and Utkal Steel Alumina, International E-Top Management Positions. He is awarded with the Udyog Ratna Award by the Institute of Economic Studies, chaired by Honorable Prime Minister. He is the current President of Trivandrum Management Association. It's my privilege to invite Mr.Rajesh Jha to speak a few words.
Good evening to all of you. Dr. Jayasankar Prashad, Director, and thank you for inviting me, Dr. Prashad. My colleague, Mr. Sunil Ayappan, who is both my colleague at Adani and CMA, Nagasri, who is doing a fantastic job with the student chapters, is the chairman of chairperson
You all know her much better, right? Mr. Akhil Neela, Ms. Gayatri, and all of you, my dear students. In fact, I don't know whether you have had the time or curiosity to visit Vizhinjam Port so far. Any of you have visited?
We tried also, but they
This is the first mega project. You tried?
but they didn't allow us to enter that.
Okay, next time you want to visit, you contact Mr. Sunil. He will facilitate your entry and look around. I want this to be a dialogue. Okay, so I did not get the copy, but I want the dialogue to happen. So that you can do something. So this is one of the mega projects that is going to happen to Kerala and to our country. In fact, I was talking to Dr. Jha, and he was saying that how he was also associated with the forming period of this mega institution. There is a implementer who is supposed to do the project. It is something like a horse that is supposed to be running, and there is a rider that is supposed to be VISL, that is Vizhinjam International Seaport Authority, that is part of Kerala government. So he was a part of VISL. So he was telling me all the story about how the bid was invited and how initially we did not qualify because of some strange security reason, and he had a story that foreign companies qualified in spite of security concerns, and we did not qualify being an Indian company. So that was a very interesting story. Thank you. I understand that this has been in the dream of Kerala for last 75 years or so. When I came here, everybody used to tell me about Vizhinjam Port, whether I go to the grocery or go to sports shop or anywhere. They seem to know more about this project than me. So it was very interesting in the sense that people are so curious and so interested. And I feel that this is something like a unique project because earlier I was doing a project in steel, alumina, fertilizer, coal gasification, but never in the port. And I think this is for me also a unique opportunity to know how does the port function and how does the cargo come and cargo move out from the country. Coming to Adani, you'll be knowing that practically 25% of Indian cargo is being handled by Adani. When I say 25% is something like, the number is something like 300 million ton. I do not know whether you can place 300 million ton. So the quantity of steel that we make in the country is something like 100 million ton. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll come to So I'll cover up this Adani Group introduction, the idea about Adani Group. Then I'll give you about the Vizhinjam Port, though you tried, could not see, but today you can see in picture and maybe in future you can go and personally have a look. Then the kind of benefit that it is going to bring. It is really wonderful to have such a mega project because I'm from Jamshedpur and I know what Tata Steel has done to Jamshedpur. Earlier, Jamshedpur was known as Kalimati. It was a very, very remote tribal village. And today, you know, it is one of the best towns, best city in the country. So, a mega enterprise transforms the city, the area where it works. Because it is something like this, that when you bring a canal, it brings so much of water the entire water table around goes up. So everybody, irrespective of whether it is a irrigated field or non-irrigated field, the entire water table itself goes up. So everybody is benefited, directly or indirectly. That is what project pipeline also does. It is flow of money, right? In total, Kerala will be investing something like 10,000 crore in this project. So that is the kind of involvement that Government of Kerala, Adani, and Government of India is having. So this is the project that is supported by both Government of Kerala and Government of Adani. In part, the viability gap funding is coming from both 50-50. So that is, you can see the kind of strategic importance that this project has. So we are the largest port operator. I told you about something like handling 25% of the cargo of the country. Then we are the largest integrated infrastructure conglomerate, right from the airport to practically port. Roads, solar, the largest solar power plant, 750 megawatt in County. Earlier, prior to this, it was 550 megawatt. That was the largest solar plant in Topaz, US, and we went almost 40% of that. Then we are the largest private thermal power producer, the largest green power producer, and largest edible oil plant in India. Knowing Vizhinjam Port, I have already told you that there is a PPP project. This is the largest private sector investment in the state. We signed the agreement in August 2015, 17th August, and though we had something like 270 days to start the job, but we started just after 110 days. So we tried to save time, almost 160 days. This is the deepest water port in the country. It will be having a draft of something like 18.5 to 21.5 in the approach channel. So it can handle any size of set. Today, something like the biggest set, container cargo set, is something like 18,000, 20,000, 22,000. So anything that is existing in the world and that will come in the world maybe after 5 years or 10 years, this port will be able to handle that. That is the kind of draft. Very low meters because there is hardly any lateral draft, and just 1 nautical mile away there is enough depth. You get something like 18 to 20 meters. Well connected by road. NH just 2 kilometers away. Rail will be something like, it will be connected to Balrampura, which is 10 kilometers away, and the international airport is 15 kilometers away. This is the location. You all understand Vizhinjam, something like 15-20 kilometers from this place. And if you see, it is at the southernmost tip of Kerala. It is interesting to see the sea route. You know, this is the Middle East. Okay. So the upper route is the Far East Middle East route. So if you see the line is going along with the country's southernmost coastline, and then going to Sri Lanka, and then crossing going to Singapore. There is another route that is Suez Forest. So that also is coming and coinciding near Kerala. if you see the advantage of location in terms of distance, Vizhinjam is something like 10 nautical miles. If you see in Colombo is something like 28 nautical miles. And you know, ships, they do not move like the vehicles. Something like 8 to 10 knots or 15 knots is a very high speed for the ship. Typically, we have barges that moves at 4 to 5 knots. 1 knot is roughly 1.8 kilometer per hour. So, locationally, this has a very good advantage in terms of proximity to the main sea route, whether you are coming by Middle East, Far East, or whether you are coming by Suez, Far East. So everything is coinciding at Kerala, Vizhinjam. If you see Cochin is something like 75-80 nautical miles away from the main sea route. So to cover that, you take around 7 to 8 hours. That is why during COVID time, you would have seen that Vizhinjam came as a very big destination for crew change. It became number 1 in the country. That was its first year. And in the first year, it handled something like 440 ships. So that was a huge number of crew change. That is mainly because what could be done in say Tuticorin or in say Cochin in one day could be done in Vizhinjam in 4 to 5 hours. And then you come quickly, take the flight and go to wherever you want to go. This is the coastline of India, and you can see that when you are in Vizhinjam, so you are in a position to feed the entire eastern part and entire western part. All the small and major ports can be connected, and the mother line vessels or main sea line vessels can come to Vizhinjam, get unloaded, and the cargo can be shifted to any of the coast, either in the western coast or in the eastern coast to any of the ports. So if you are getting your cargo in say Colombo, suppose you have a container and you want to move from Colombo to say Trivandrum. So today, either you wait for your container to pull the ship load. So suppose there is a 1,000 TEU vessel. So until unless the ship has 1,000 TEU, it will not move. So it has a waiting time in Colombo, and then it will come to any of the port. Like either it can come to Cochin port or it can come to Tuticorin port, and then by road or by rail you can move. So that is the kind of time, waiting time is involved when you move the cargo from Colombo or Singapore or Dubai. But in case of Vizhinjam, even if you have one container, you can move it by road, you can move it by rail. So you have tremendous saving in time and cost by opting a very small consignment also by either road or rail and move your cargo. So it saves you time and cost also, because sea travel, then rail travel or road travel gets reduced to only one mode of travel. Okay. Indian ports are not able to accommodate big size vessels. So like I told you, 80,000 or 20,000 TEU, you cannot berth at any port in the country. Recently, Mundra, where the draft is very high, that was something like 16,800. That was the largest container vessel that had come there, and that made a record. So I told you about the benefit that this transshipment will bring here in terms of cost and time. And this, in the entire Indian Ocean, this will be something like a unique destination for transshipment of all the cargo. This can really become emerge as a hub. This is about the features of the port. that this will have a breakwater length of 3,100 meters. Then the jetty length, where the ship actually berths, will be something like 800 meters. In the first phase, it will have a capacity of something like 1.5 million TEU. And then subsequently will be going to 2.2 and then 3 million TEU by addition of another 400 meters. So total with final phase, it will be having something like 2 kilometers, 2,000 meters of berth and 4.1 kilometer of breakwater. So this is how the master plan looks like. The big one is the jetty portion, and the outer covering is the breakwater. Why it is called a breakwater? Because it breaks the wave. So that is why it is like inside the breakwater, it is like a pond. The water is still. So when you go to the set, it does not oscillate. It is stable. I have covered this, and we have estimated that in 30 years, the kind of economic benefit that it will generate is something like 25,000 crore, and that will have a economic IRR of 12.98, that is 13%. From 15th year, the revenue saving that the Kerala government will start, and it will go in the concession period. It will go something like 21%, and then it will go right up to, in the final phase of the concession period, something like 40%. So whatever we are earning, 40% will be sharing with government of Kerala, and that is a huge revenue. Then on job front, it will be in the first phase, it will be giving 650 number of direct employment, and whenever you have direct employment, you have many indirect employment. Something like 3,600 number will be indirect employment. Then these are the milestones. I told you that 17th August 2015 we signed the agreement, and then 4th December 2015 we started the work, and breakwater construction started before the commencement date itself, that was 24th November. Then jetty was started on 1st June, and the target completion date looks like that the first vessel that we will be able to bring is next year, May. And that will be a huge vessel because it will be carrying all the sword cranes and yard cranes. Mind you, sword crane will be having the arm length of something like 65 meters. So that is the kind of reach it has. And it looks like that we'll be able to commission and operate one berth by next year December. Now I'll show you the photograph so that it gives you a visual feel of what has been done so far. So this is the jetty. The entire 800 meter. Somehow the arrow is not working, but otherwise I could move the arrow, but you can see the entire jetty. From one end to the other end is 800 meters. Then this is the area reclaimed, and something like 35 hectare has been reclaimed, and out of that 7 hectare we have made the block. So backup yard has been done. This port is connected with 220 kV line, and then 220 kV by 33 kV is a gas insulated substation. All the equipment imported from Sweden, and that is ready. That is completed. Now it is to be inaugurated, and we are waiting for the time from Honorable CM to inaugurate it. Then this is the gate complex. where that will be controlling all the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. Then this is the port operation building, that is the nerve center from where all the equipment, so it has 8 SOAR trains and 24 yard trains. So all 32 equipments and other peripheral equipments will be controlled from here. And all the equipments will be maintained in this workshop building. This is a part of 220 kV by 33 kV gas insulated substation. The final layer that breaks the wave is called acropod. It is almost more than 50% out of 19,000, almost 11,000 has been casted. All 8 SOAR trains and 24 yard trains order has been placed and we will be receiving from next year. All 4 tugs to ferry the ship and manage the ship that comes. All these 4 tugs are coming from Goa, Japan, and all 4 tugs have arrived here. So, because we did not have the parking space, so one we are parking at Kadupalli, another we are parking at Hajira, then Mundra, like that. This is how the breakwater looks like. And we have done something like on land, something like 1350 meters, and by marine, if you see, we have touched 1700 meters out of 2960. So this is by and large that we have done, and with this, next year, May, we plan to bring the ship with all the equipment, and by October to December is the final time by which we will make the berth operational. That is the kind of time frame. I thought I'll share this initial information and then would like to answer all your queries, whatever queries you have, and would also extend my invite on my behalf and Sunil's behalf and also TMA's behalf, that any of you who are interested to come and see the port, you're most welcome. So thank you very much. Now I am ready to answer any questions that you have or any clarification that you may seek. Yes, there will be an exam just after this. So anyway, you all are students of management, and management teaches how to manage more with less. And in Kerala and whole of our country, we are known for frugal management. We know how to create more out of less. And this code also is a very good example of realizing our dream for the last 7 decades, and in spite of Cyclone Oki, then Cyclone Ote, and all other natural calamities, we had super floods. In spite of that, the indomitable will of human being prevails, and you try to make things happen. In fact, on one occasion, there was 2 approaches. This 800 meter is connected with 2 approaches. And because of the cyclonic action, both the approaches was cut by the rough sea. And we had almost 100 people marooned on the jetty. So these are the kind of challenges. Unless you see, you will not be able to believe that you are in the deep sea and you do not know what to do. When you will be rescued. And those intense moments, we had to borrow the boat from Coast Guard and bring back and rescue all the people. So all the challenges comes. So anybody would like to have a job in Marine Port? Would you like to work for it? You would like to break water or do something in the jetty? Or operate the crane? You know, this will be the first port where all the equipments, you will not have an operator. It will be controlled from one central control room. And you will have a simulator. So all the operators will be trained, and it is not like going at 65 meters and looking at bottom and trying to see. You know, we brought one ship. We had a huge problem of getting stone in Kerala. And so we thought that why not get the stone from Gujarat. So we brought one 50,000-tonner ship that came, and being in the port sector and practically owning something like 12 ports across the coastline, we could not imagine that we will not be able to unload that ship. You know, the problem that we faced, that the orange peel grab that was going down, but it was not stable because of the wind velocity. It was dangling like this. So by the time you try and place it, you are not able to figure out where to place it. And finally, we made an attempt for 15 days. We could unload only of the ship. The remaining we had to take it to Tuticorin to unload there. So all these complexities come, and unless you see, you do not realize.
So probably they really didn't get that point which you're trying to say, like dropping a stone, such a heavy stone over a crane, so that it lands on to the correct position where your reporter is supposed to be. So even for us to put the stone into a bucket full of water and get it landing in your place where you want is difficult, right? So what he is talking about is a heavy stone with a huge crane with all this kind of wind and other volatility on the water surface. I hope someday.
Yeah. In fact, when you come, you will see one acropod is something like 15 tons. And when you place it, you have to place it accurately because it has to be interlocked. So you use the diver that will go. You use underwater camera to see whether it is being done. And with the view of underwater camera, you are guiding the crane operator that move this way or that way and then place at the exact location. Normally we hear about this, but when you see, it looks very interesting. So how many of you would like to come and make a visit? We do offer breakfast and good coffee there. All of you. Okay. Then thank you very much. I really wanted to explain to you as to what Adani is doing to the piece of land that has been given by Kerala government, and all of you. We are in your land, and I have a mandate to build this port and build this for you, because we move from project to project. After this project is completed, I'll most likely hand it over to Sunil, and he will operate the port, and I'll move on to some other project. So like I was doing Elvina project, and after the project got commissioned, I gave it to one guy from Odisha, and he is operating the port. He is operating the Elvina project now. So similarly, this project will belong to you, and you will be a part of this. For this, thank you very much.
So, other times it takes a breather. Think about a few questions. Do you have any questions?
What kind of jobs will like still have MBA graduates have there? Those are specialized what specialization should we take for having a work there?
See, actually, the board will require to be managed, right? So you have HR function, you have finance function, you have operations management, you have marine environment. So all these, like finance if you have, like operations management you have, HR if you have, all these people will be required to manage this entire asset that is being created. Then you have marketing, because all the ships will be calling to this port. So you have to bring this in, so you have to market this port. And all the cargo that will be sent to the customer. So then all these boxes that is there, that is to be maintained well. So you have maintenance personnel that is required. So operations, then HR, then finance, then marketing will have a key role in this.
Sir, do we need to have work experience or you take
No, we will be taking freshers because we do not have much of a choice, and we have an obligation to the local community. So we will be taking the local community also, and we will be training them. And you know, it works much better for us also, because maybe after 6 months or 1 year, you'll be trained. But if I hire somebody from outside, for him to gel with the culture here, and the cost of living that he has is much higher. So we aim by employing people from the vicinity. The commitment level is much higher. They don't go for 15 days vacation or 20 days vacation to their native place, and their availability is much better. Their cost of living is much lower, and their commitment to the institution, that also is much higher.
China is a mastermind behind the fort within Colombia. And do you feel that there might be a trend for
China is there in Sri Lanka. We also there. So it is like going to the same place and trying to manage the situation from there as well as here. But I told you that Belgium has very natural advantages, and we are positioning this port for our Indian cargo, which is something like 5 million TEU of Indian cargo is being handled by Sri Lanka. TEU is 20-foot equivalent unit. So one box that you see loaded onto the trailers is 20 foot. At times you could be seeing two big box that is 40 foot. So that is like 2 TEU. So something like 5 million TEU is being handled by Sri Lanka. So all that cargo should be naturally coming here. So that is our advantage. And yes, why China? You have competition from everybody. You have competition from Singapore, you have competition from Dubai, you have competition from other Malaysian ports. So competition is there, and that is where you thrive. It is always when you can convert your advantage into a good business opportunity, you gain.
Any more questions?
So, what are the initial challenges faced by BDG at this first phase of development?
See, we have a concession agreement, and all the rate, it is a schedule of rate, something like there are 40-50 items that has been defined. And for the first 10 years, we will be following that rate, and it is a subsidized rate. It will not be the market rate. So it will be something like 20% lower than the market. Gradually after 10 years, we will see what is the market rate and how we can position ourselves there. But roughly telling you today one container is something like 14-15 ton and something like $5 to $6, so $75 to $100 anywhere people charge.
Do you ask for the concession or the challenge? You are probably asking for the initial problems that you face.
Challenges, I told you that initially we normally the mega projects, they are long gestation projects, something like 4 years, 5 years. So you go through a lot of natural calamities which you do not foresee. Like we never foresaw cyclone Rocky. We never foresaw super flood. I was told that super flood was once in 100 years. So you all know more about the impact of the flood. In cyclone Rocky, we lost something like 53 lives. So all these creates problem. And then we had after super flood again another mega flood in 2019. 2018 was a super flood. 2017 was the Oki. So 2017 Oki, 2018 super flood, 2019 another flood, and 2020 we had COVID. So we couldn't have asked for more.
So the question was like what's the challenges was you said what equipment come from foreign countries. So the Ukraine-Russia war is going on, and is there any impact of the war?
No, I think all the equipments like you have 3 sets of equipment. One is truck that is supposed to bring the ship from the main sea route inside the port. All port trucks are here in India. It is deployed at our different ports because we do not have a parking place here. Then we require solar cranes and yard cranes. Solar cranes and yard cranes are also ready. We could not get the dispatch permission because the breakwater is not ready. So we will not be able to be hopeful that this war will not go for 1 year. Because if I have the average of both the world wars, now the situation is very different. It is very localized conflict. It is not like entire world is at war. So we do not foresee that this will continue for another few months or so. So I don't foresee any problem in getting the equipment from China.
So what will happen to Balaspur when we can
Yes, this is a very important question, and you know, the straight answer is both of us will grow. I can tell you, I have a very good example for this. When we are doing Mundra Port, that was in 1998. That time, the biggest port, Khanda Port, or now it is named as Dindayal Port, was already there just 50 kilometers away. So everybody was saying that Mundra Port does not have a future because Khanda Port is just nearby. Today, Mundra Port is the number one port and Khanda is number two port. And today they are handling something like 260 million tons. In 1998, they were handling something like 50 million tons. So from 50 to 260, because the Cargo TEU is being handled by Sri Lanka, Colombo. So if that comes to Indian shore, easy vessel will be unloading at Vizhinjam, and smaller ships will be going to Valapada. They also will be handling more. So it is important that together we grow. I mean, like in your class, there are different people, but you go in different directions, and all of you will grow. It is not that one will grow and another will not grow. So the market, Indian market is growing so much that both Adani Vizhinjam and Valapada will grow and increase the count. Because we have to take care of 5 EU that is being handled by some other country. It is our task. So cargo will come to Vizhinjam, part of that cargo will come to Valapada also. It is important that we get that here on our shores.
The development aspect is there behind this Vizhinjam port, but still so many people have been affected by releasing this port. So how difficult was to and to give an awareness about the benefits of the port?
I would not say that it was very difficult. I'll give you a very small example. That there was a Ramachandra Commission that was given the charge to see the port. There were some issues. You know, they conducted an open house in Trivandrum, and there was not a single person who went and complained that this port is not good for them. Everybody said that they will stand to benefit. But yes, there are a couple of concerns. Like you would have heard that the road leading to the airport that got cut, and recently it has been repaired and opened. But you know, people memory is short. 2005, when there was no port, that time also this road had gone. 2015, even before we signed the agreement, that time also this road had gone. So there are natural phenomena. At times you ascribe to certain activity, human activity, but maybe it is not related. So as such, will bring, like I told you, a lot of inflow of money in terms of project income, in terms of operating income, and all that income will go where? It will be in Kerala, it will be in Trivandrum. So whenever there is a mega project, like I come from Dilsepur, Tata Steel, so lifestyle of in say something like 50 years back or 100 years back, and today they are in the top positions in the company. So this is the kind of benefit that will come to practically the surrounding area and the state.
Thank you, sir. General Manager, Adani Vizhinjam Private Limited, to deliver a few words.
Good evening all. In fact, it's a pleasure to meet you all. In fact, I'm not learning much about the TFA and the activities. When I was doing MBA, unlike many of you, I did MBA after a couple of years of experience in core engineering law. But at that point of time, I never thought of joining any management association or any industry connect. And after 5 years, I joined IMA. Then only I realized the role these associations being played in shaping your career. Or as a management professional, once you are out of the college, there are two things which lead your career. Among many other things, there are very important things which lead your career are continual learning process, and second is network which you create. So both are facilitated by, to some extent, these are facilitated by organizations like DMA and IMA. Fortunately, since the time of Director Jayashankar sir, DMA is having a good contact with the student community. We are having student chapters since then, and we are doing a lot of activities. So this TMA forum is actually giving you both the opportunity for continual learning as well as for making networks. So I urge you to make best use of it, and that would be of good use to you. Even after you leaving from this college, that would be good for you to associate with the IMA or wherever you are located, that would be good. So with that words, I am just concluding. I wish you all the best in your career as well as in your coming studies, in your exams and all. And this is also a very pleasant occasion to see all in a real classroom after a long time, because we have been addressing you. Our chairman has been conducting a lot of programs and we have been doing over online mode. Now we are happy that we are back to the real mode. Thank you.
Now I invite Mr.Rajesh Jha to give label speech to Adani Vizhinjam, President, TFA Students Chapter.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Rajashree ma'am to give latest inculcate letter, Secretary TFA Student Chapter. Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Akhil Leela to hand over a memento to Mr. Rajesh Jha and Rajashree ma'am as a token of our love and gratitude.
Good, looks good. Now we have it.
Now I would like to invite Ms. Gayatri Niggal, Secretary, for a vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all. Silent gratitude is much use to anyone, and I agree. Dear all, it is a great pleasure and single honor for me to extend a vote of thanks to all those who are present here. I would like to profusely thank our chief guest, Mr. Rajesh Jha, for making it convenient to grace this occasion by delivering his true-based setting and very keen perspective. No less so like your words of advice to the students. So, we are sure that your profound thoughts and perspectives will inspire the students. Our enormous respect to you, sir. I also thank Chemistry Ma'am and Sunil sir for their presence in this auspicious event. I would like to express my sincere thanks to BC fraternity for availing their presence. Once again, thank you all and have a great evening.
I take the responsibility to declare the dissolution of the program.